my beautiful co-creators, Lilou here. I'm in beautiful Paris today with an amazing man that is Nobel Prize of Medicine in 2008, that is responsible for having found the virus of the SIDA in '83. This is absolutely incredible. I'm so honored and feel blessed to have this conversation and be able to do this in English. Oh my goodness, we just had a 30-minute interview in French. Thank you, Professor.
English with a French accent.
I love it. Isn't that charming? Huh? Thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful work that you do, and I want to particularly speak today about autism and the Lyme disease. That is a big one. Huh?
The word on AIDS itself, AIDS, the research is not finished because we don't cure yet the patients with AIDS, with HIV infection. So I'm working also on that and hope to see the eradication of the infection, finding new factors which could contribute to the disease as well. Different from the virus, but associated with the virus. Now, talking about more common diseases, yes, autism is really an epidemic everywhere, especially in the United States, and we don't know exactly why, but our clue is there are infectious factors, because we are using new technologies which are highly sensitive to detect some form of microbes or bacteria in the blood of the children, and this leads to treatment which sometimes cure the patient, the child. This is not well known, this is just beginning, but we have a group in France also associated with some American doctors which are working on the long-term antibiotic treatment of autistic children with some very impressive results. So I think we should let know this new way to the doctors, to the American doctors, also to the parents. And actually I'm participating to a meeting in Chicago in May about this, and I will of course mention the work of my colleagues in France, which are very impressive. Now, other diseases, also on the other side of the life, for aging people, we see also an increase of neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson, Alzheimer, multiple sclerosis. And we are also here, by our technology, we detect microbial infections. And some, of course, our record is not very large now, but we have anecdotal cases in which we can cure multiple sclerosis at the beginning by an antibiotic treatment. Antibiotics don't mean only one compound, several compounds, and perhaps also compounds acting on the parasitic infection, fungal infection, which also accompany, I would call that a dysfunctioning of the immune system. I think the clue is that at the beginning. So this leaves the bacteria able to grow, to multiply, especially the bacteria of the gut, and this leads to damage in the brain. Of course, by some mechanisms which have to be studied, but the fact is we can improve the conditions at the beginning by antibiotic treatment.
This is good.
Yes, the hope is to have a longer life, but with human capacity to live that life, to take advantage of I think the last day, the final days are the best, but if we live in good health.
Yeah, and to cost less also to the social security. I mean, we're talking about it in the French version of this interview. There's a huge problem. It's a big challenge right now, and we're trying to really get the politicians to bring this topic inside their campaign in France, because these are really important cases and research that needs to be done that is absolutely not even talked about in their debate.
Absolutely, and this is also the case in many European countries, even in developing countries. We see the same kind of disease, cardiovascular, neurodegenerative diseases in India, in China, in Africa. So this is a worldwide problem, and we should find the same solution everywhere.
Tell us about this infection, this bacteria that is the same bacteria as in Lyme disease that we can find. Some people say there's 80% of people that are carrying it with them. Borrelia?
Borrelia, yes. Borrelia was found first as the agent of the Lyme disease. Lyme is a small village of the Connecticut. But now this disease has spread almost everywhere. It's not always caused by the same bacteria, but probably some related bacteria. And so this implied that there are long-term treatment also by antibiotics, because apart from the acute infection, you have also a chronic infection which could last many years with many damage on the brain or the joints. Chronic fatigue syndrome is also related to that. So it's enormous problem as well, probably increased also by some environmental factors, not only the bacteria, but nutrition, stress,
electromagnetic pollution.
And even now we are questioning whether this enormous increase of electromagnetic pollution, we are completely surrounded by this, we are using them, of course. What are the long-term effects? We don't know. We don't know, and there are people which are highly sensitive to this. There are some oxidative stress, some biochemical change in our cells induced by the radiation. Oxidative stress, which is an increase of oxygen species, oxygen molecules, highly reactive, which can cause mutation in DNA, alteration of lipids and proteins. And this can be, I won't say cure, but really most suppressed by taking the proper antioxidants. So we have a clinical trial very promising on this now in France, and we hope to, if it is confirmed, to publish this, because we think not only those people are concerned, but everybody will be concerned, of course, not the same level, but probably we are exposed to a lower level to the same effect of long-term effect of the radiation, electromagnetic radiation. So our future doesn't look dark, I would say, provided we take the appropriate measures.
How is, I know you spend a lot of time in China, how are they compared to America and France?
Well, they are concerned by the same disease, including HIV/AIDS, also the many viral infection, hepatitis B, C, and also concerned by the aging of the population. And Shanghai has the same life expectancy average than the European countries. So they are suffering from the same problem.
And finally, I just want to talk with you about radio frequency treatment. Is this the future?
I think it's one of the possibilities, because it seems that every bacterial viral DNA has a special emission of radio frequencies, and we can perhaps counteract this by exposing the patient to slightly modified waves, which may suppress or neutralize the frequency emitted by the viral or the bacterial DNA. But this is for the future.
Exciting. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you for this moment and to do this interview in English.
Thank you.
Thank you, my beautiful co-creators. Much love from Paris. Thank you. In French. Thank you, Professor.
English with a French accent.
I love it. Isn't that charming? Huh? Thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful work that you do, and I want to particularly speak today about autism and the Lyme disease. That is a big one.
Just
Huh?
a word on AIDS itself. AIDS, the research is not finished because we don't cure yet the patients.
Hello, my beautiful co-creators. Lilou here. I'm in beautiful Paris today with an amazing man that is Nobel Prize of Medicine in 2008, that is responsible for having found the virus of the SIDA in '83. This is absolutely incredible. I'm so honored and feel blessed to have this conversation and be able to do this in English. Oh my goodness, we just had a 30-minute interview.
And we don't know exactly why, but our clue is there are infectious factors, because we are using new technologies which are highly sensitive to detect some form of microbes or bacteria in the blood of the children, and this leads to treatment which sometimes cure the patient, the child with AIDS, with HIV infection. So I'm working also on that and hope to see the eradication of the infection. Finding new factors which could contribute to the disease as well. Different from the virus, but associated with the virus. Now, talking about more common diseases, yes, autism is really an epidemic everywhere, especially in the United States.